Okay, we're going to talk about the Coldplay guy. The Coldplay guy, the millionaire or billionaire CEO that got caught cheating with his vice president at a Coldplay gig. This is the news on You Call That Radio TV.
You Call That Radio TV.
First of all, let me be controversial by saying two things. Coldplay's first two albums were actually really good. I don't care what anyone says, they were actually good, the first two. But getting caught at a Coldplay gig is embarrassing on its own right. Also, shout out to Coldplay for giving 10% of all their proceeds to the Grassroots Music Venue Trust, whatever they're called again. Second of all, any smidgen or tiny little bit of sympathy of this guy being exposed as a lying rat on such a public level vanishes as soon as you see his carefully written statement, which I assume was carefully written by Chat GPT and then edited by Alan Partridge or something. Right, here's the video in question where Chris Martin actually calls it live. He probably thought he was joking, but it turns out he was bang on the money.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. I'm not quite sure.
I think this is real, but Coldplay have released a statement saying, starting with our next show, we're introducing camera-free audience sections for people and their side pieces. The reason this has went so viral and captured the public's imagination is he's allegedly a billionaire, or at the very least a millionaire, and people are sick of their shit. Also, I think he works in AI. I'm not sure if he works in AI, but I'll just fact check that in a second. And not only is AI stealing all our jobs in a world where governments are trying to kill, demean and exploit the unemployed, but we're just sick of hearing about robots, sick of dealing with chatbots, sick of being offered a new AI friend to help us send a fucking email. Let me double check he works in AI before I go any further. It looks like the kind of guy who does. Okay, Astronomer is a data infrastructure company that provides tools to help organisations manage and streamline complex data workflows. At its core is Astro, a data orchestration and observability platform powered by the open source tool Apache Airflow. Now, if I'm going to be really honest, I don't know what any of those words mean. To me, you might as well say that he's programming robot dogs to shoot lasers at Palestine activists. But anyway, his former colleague says he's a cunt. And it's been good for the memes. In fact, before we do that, before we look at the memes, let's look at the actual statement, which is the best meme out of them all. Like I said, it looks like he's either paid a slick PR company that writes the same press release statements for everybody, or he's used Chat GPT and it's been edited by Alan Partridge or someone like that. I'm not going to read it all out, but look it up for yourself or read it on the screen just now if you're watching it on YouTube, because it's an absolute load of shite. And it's just what you'd expect for a billionaire who got caught cheating with his vice president at a Coldplay gig. But the best bit is the way that he kind of says he's going to take some time away to reflect. And then he blames it in Coldplay because he didn't consent. So he's going to take his time to reflect, but he also blames it all in Coldplay. What a roaster, man. Absolute grade A roaster. And he also ends with, I think a wise man once said, lights will guide me, I will try to fix you, and quotes one of the cheesier Coldplay songs. And there's a few to choose from in that genre. But let's get to the memes because it's inspired some good fucking memes. So let's go to them. Who says getting caught having an affair with an executive at a Coldplay concert got to be top 5 whitest things in history? You've got to agree with that. Pretty white for an AI guy. Next, what we got next? Popbay says astronomer CEO Andy Byron's wife removes his last name from her Facebook profile following viral video of his alleged affair. That there has got a divorce lawyer is rubbing his hands. The divorce lawyer's already been called. The divorce lawyer is rubbing his hands, hoping that he can get Chris Martin to testify in court. He's got to go out of court settlement. He's got to give 90% of what he owns. And this one's interesting. From Chevy. The embarrassed girlie next to him. So you see in the video that there's a lassie that's got this big smile and she's got a red face. She's mortified, but she's also having the time of her life as well. She's laughing. Apparently, she got promoted to head of PR just a week ago. Probably because she knew there was an affair. And then you've got another guy who's with him who's just jumping up and down for joy, celebrating the absolute cinema of it all. And Ryan Peterson says, board should give him a raise. Without this viral moment, I'd have never known that Astronomer is used by enterprise clients to manage Apache airflow and achieve 70% higher uptime than self-managed airflow. I didn't know that either. Once again, I cannot understand each individual word, but not in a sentence like that. I'm sure they're making robot dogs for the Israeli government. What retired I says, married CEOs can't even hug and romantically sway with their married head of HR during a Coldplay concert anymore because of woke. It's a woke thing, guys. The world's got too woke to cheat on your wife at a Coldplay. And okay, we'll do one more. We'll do one more. String says, worst part about this is it's going to lead to him posting on LinkedIn something like, I got caught cheating at a Coldplay concert. Here's what it taught me about business-to-business sales. And that's probably a very accurate prediction because these kind of people, these kind of ball bags, they always fall up the way. He'll probably write a book, do the podcast, do the right-wing podcast routine, and and make himself the victim. Anyway, join us. I enjoyed that. Join us next week where we'll be talking about how the president is a pedo, allegedly. And if you can't release the Epstein files, then at least release the Coldplay files. Someone who can release the secret information, though, is the Gyro Babies. Our new single, The Secret Information, is out now on all platforms. Check it out. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. In fact, do what you like. You always do anyway. Bye!